All right, we got ourselves a first look at the Chaos Dwarf campaign with Astrogath Ironhand. Now, Creative Assembly sent me this video ahead of time, so we're going to go through the video that I have on my computer, not the video that is on YouTube. I've gone ahead and just turned the volume down on this to like 10 or 15 or whatever it's set to. 7, because it's quite honestly, personal opinion, I think the humor is very cringy and I'm just not about that action. So I'm going to kind of go through this with you. We're going to stop and pause at certain points. I'm going to talk about some of the mechanics that the Chaos Dwarfs have. We're going to go through the convoy system, their unique currencies, the Tower of Zar, the great drill that they have access to, all these amazing things that the Chaos Dwarf campaign is really going to tap into. It looks to be a lot of fun. So we're going to be diving into this here. If you have not yet pre-ordered the Chaos Dwarf DLC, you can use the link in my description below. You'll be getting it's my affiliate link directly to Creative Assembly's portal, in which case you can purchase the DLC and it helps support the channel. Also, I will be doing a giveaway of 2 copies, 2 DLC keys tomorrow on my Twitch as a celebration for hitting Twitch partners. You can find the links to both of those things in the description of the pinned comment. But let's just dive right into this bad boy. And it's going to be quite a long video here because we have 22 minutes of this raw footage. I'm going to skip around certain portions here and there because I just want to kind of get to the nuts and bolts of this. But if you want to watch it all its entirety, you're going to find it on Total Wars YouTube. It's late at night. I'm pushing through this as best I can. But we get a little tasty poo here of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Now that right there you saw, that's a Lore of Hashut ability. And we'll see it later in this. I think it's called like something bombardment. So we're going to pause right here and do our first kind of looking at a couple units. So we have the Orc Laborers, which are going to be an expendable meat shield, 22 and 12 melee attack, but actually AP, which is pretty nice for an expendable unit at 140. We also have the Goblins and Goblin Laborers. They both look like the same unit card, so I'm not sure which one is which in this case. But Goblin Laborers do not, even though they have what looks to be a spear, they do not have bonus versus large. They're 12-16, very low, 180 units there. Let's go forward. Goblins are a little bit better. In fact, we can actually see the direct difference here, which is pretty nice. So what you'll also notice in this video is we're going to be able to take a look at some of the previews of the stuff coming with 3.0. Take, for example, this new icon here, and I apologize for this thing popping up a ton of times. It's just kind of something I've got to deal with. But this new icon here that shows the shield type for what kind of defense you're going to be looking at. There's another cool thing with the UI where it'll lock in place, kind of like it does for Crusader Kings 3, and I'll show that off when we get to that portion of the video. But go ahead a little bit forward. That was what I wanted to. Oh, those black orcs over there. Oh, I'm idiot. They're attacking those goblins. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are these goblins coming from? So we have Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Like I said, it's pretty late over here. With 36 weapon strength and AP damage coming out of them. Looks like they're going to have an innate fire resistance. This is something I thought would probably happen because of the style of armor that they've got. But a really nice leadership at 79, which you can see is already kind of buffed. 85 armor. 28 speed, so pretty standard fare for a dwarf. 30 melee attack and 34 melee defense. That's actually quite nice. I don't know what that icon to the left is, but they've got contempt is what I imagine that icon is. So we'll probably have to see what that looks like further. I think it's later in this video. But we also have the Chaos Dwarf Blunderbuss, which is going to be, again, a decent melee combatant. Not that much different here from our warriors. Not too far off at all. But I believe this is the volley fire thing, right, that the Rattling Gunners have. I think that's the same icon right there, but it does AP damage at 49 and a 90 range, 30 ammunition here as well, 85 armor, pretty good set of stats across the board, but to be expected when it comes to dwarfs, right? Their infantry across the board is going to be pretty nice. I saw that charge defense too, if you did not. But here we have Astrogath Ironhand. Look at this stat profile, 60 speed. Did not see that coming. Also, 520 weapon strength coming hot and heavy out of this bad boy. We're going to have 97 leadership, 130 armor, 60 melee attack and 50 defense. I mean, that's pretty damn nice. I'm assuming he's around level 1. No spells to take a look at. These 2 icons are the 2 spells he starts with. Cascading Fire Cloak and this other bombardment spell, which was that red fireball that we saw earlier just a second ago. That's that ability right there. Looks like he's got Immune to Psychology, Siege Attacker, Encourage. isn't that like the wall breaker one? Which is this I believe is Contempt. He's got the single entity thing. He's got fire resist, and he's got missile resist, and whatever that icon is. But very interesting here that he is a melee expert too as a wizard. So a very, very dangerous character. We're going to see him kind of kicking his way to freedom throughout the rest of this video here. I'm going to go a little bit further. I mean, here we get to see what looks like a Mega Man villain going to town on things. I do love the dude, man. The Chaos Dwarfs look so good. Oh, that was what I wanted to see. It's the only other unit we haven't looked at. Is the Bull Centaur Render. So they've got scaly skin, giving them 50. Dude, look at that. They have silver shields. So 50 armor and silver shields with innate missile defense. Is that a charge bonus? I don't know what that is. Cause fear. They've got fire resistance as well. I mean, this is a pretty damn cool unit here. 38 melee attack, 48 melee defense for a monstrous beast unit at 6. Yeah, that's pretty good. Usually it's kind of a swap situation where they've gotten less melee defense and far more melee attack. But 62 speed, I mean, just slightly more than Astragoth, and 114 AP weapon damage with 40 charge bonus coming out of these bad boys. And I think the only other thing we haven't seen is the hero unit, which I don't think they show in this scene. But dude, like, look at this guy. He's built to move, man. Like, he's breaking the land speed record for sure. He's shooting a hand flamethrower all over the place. Like, and they went with the OG aesthetic for his banners on all the characters too, which is just really, really nice little touch. I do like that indeed. Oh, okay. These guys don't have. Oh, I thought they had shields. Okay, and dude, look at this. Look how awesome that animation was of them firing. So, ooh, what was that? Did you sneak something in on me? No, that was a great weapon. So, what you have here for the victory condition for the actual Realm of Chaos campaign is this high-powered drill assembly line. By doing this and also claiming and using 4 ancestor relics and win the final battle to allow the drill to penetrate into the realm of Hashut, you pretty much complete the campaign for the Chaos Dwarfs. Now, this is of course only in the Realm of Chaos. Campaign map. I don't know what it's like in the Imperial Empire? The Immortal Empires. It's late. Let's just push on through that portion. So with that, you kind of have to construct this line of buildings just like you kind of did with the Vampire Coast. Now, let me see if they do it. No. Okay, so you see this little aura right here at the bottom? You'll see it more in other portions of the video when they kind of hover over this, but when they hover over it, that little aura starts at the center and expands out to the edges, which I assume then locks the tooltip. This is something that you get in CK3 and a lot of other Paradox games. So I would love to have that actually be the case, because there's a lot of times I want to look over something, maybe hover over something and get a little more information out of it. And I like that it's going to hopefully now be nested tooltips, which I think is a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and go through this. I mean, this is your drill. Ruglash, who are you? Okay, you are not what I thought you were. And I think we're all good here. I think we've seen all these units. Oh, this is that ability. There it is, Burning Wrath. Aha. So I was like, I know I get to see the whole entire card. Where is it? So 500 range damage coming out of this thing with an explosive damage of 144, causes moderate magical and fire damage, spawns a moving vortex, effective at long range, strong versus multiple combatants. Watch this bad boy pop off. Like, that looks so sick. Oh, I cannot wait to see how a lot of the other Lore of Hashut spells work, especially because this is a custom kit that Astaroth has, right? He has both fire and Lore of Hashut, so I really want to see what some of those other ones are. So now we kind of see a little bit about the hero here. Oh, ooh. Do we go into the garrison portions yet? Yeah, so we have 3 different types of settlement, as it were, for the Chaos Dwarfs, and it's about to go into that. But we have factories, outposts, and then the actual like citadels that house in the provincial capitals. And you can see right here, Uzkulak is where we start with Astragoth Ironhand. Zarnagrand is owned by an NPC Chaos Dwarf faction that you influence and eventually confederate, which we'll show off later in this video. But Legion of Asgore, which is going to be what's his name, Drazoeth. That's probably the Black Fortress. That's probably where he is. We don't know for sure. I haven't seen it yet. And the War Host of Zar is the Tower of Gorgoth, or at least that's what it seems like. But these factories and outposts basically allow you to produce raw materials, which then get made into armaments, which are then used towards all of your currency. This is part of the conclave mechanic, which is not in this video. But it's cool here that you can see, this is, I think, the button for outpost, but it shows you kind of a nice little context tip in the UI, what is built in the other portions of this province. Okay, well, the Falls of Doom already have an outpost or a factory, whatever this icon is. Well, now I know I can make an outpost or a factory. And this also gives me labor force, which I then use. I'm going to take a breath of fresh air right there because I said everything in one fell swoop. I'm going to have a sip of water. So there you go. Those are some of the there we go. So outposts right here. Conclave influence gained, income generated, and chaos undivided corruption. So worth noting here that the corruption the Chaos Dwarfs create is chaos, which I guess goes without saying. I mean, I've always wanted it to be like this really cool industrial corruption, but they are Chaos Dwarfs at the end of the day, so I'm cramming up my own ass. So you have outposts, which make raw materials. And then, oops, he said factories turn those raw materials into armaments. You can see that all right here. My allergies are really kicking in here, so I'm going to start getting really nasally sounding. I apologize, guys. And then you've got your tower here that then has kind of like your provincial capital as you build things out more. Now, just because it says outpost and factory doesn't mean you build it. You build it like, say, like a Wood Elf outpost or the Chaos Warriors of Chaos outpost. No. You're still going to make it like a normal settlement. It's just you're basically choosing how that minor settlement benefits your faction, which I actually really like. It's a bit of a departure from that typical mechanic. Now, I know you probably saw the settlement portion on the left side, and we'll get to that in a bit. We're going to skip over that. So here we go. Raw materials, armaments. Then you have labor force, and you have conclave, which, again, he says we're going to talk about later in a different video, which all goes back to your income, trade, building income, all that kind of action. And here's your raw materials and how they are. Raw materials are generated from outpost settlements mines. They are used to construct various buildings and can be converted into armaments or treasury income within a factory settlement's buildings. This is how it's all gained, and this is how it is all lost. Scoot on over to that armament there, buddy. Oh, well. So you can see the strip mine here, raw materials 200 per turn, and workload 300. You'll need to maintain this much labor in the province. So armaments are generated from factory settlements assembly lines. These are used to construct advanced military buildings and to empower units in the Hellforge. So military convoys, yes. But there, aha. So we have labor actions, which are kind of like the dictats. I call them dit because it's a joke. Dictats or whatever of the Dark Elves. So we have industry, our workload. So this is the amount of workforce required in this province. Increase the size of your labor force to meet its demands. Workload is increased when building mines and outpost settlements. A higher workload means you'll need to maintain more labor in the province in order to maximize the output of raw materials. So it's a lot of nested mechanics, far more than I think we're used to, especially for dwarfs. So labor costs, as an example, increases some control. Oop, this is going to generate additional treasury, and then the conclave one, which we don't really know about at all. Also too here, so when you have low control, you start to have labor loss per turn. So you need to have a higher control, allows for better labor, that kind of fun action. I missed a tooltip, I think. Does this do that little tooltip lock thing? No, it's not. Okay, so let's kind of skip forward here a little bit. Banner of Eternal Flame, blah, 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 blah. Yes. So one mechanic that they've brought in from... Oh, wait, you know what? Maybe that little icon thing will show up that I want to talk about. Yeah, so if you... we'll wait till later. So in Three Kingdoms, you have the ability to essentially pay to have a building push through the production queue. We can now do that here with Warhammer 3 and the Chaos Dwarfs by paying a labor cost to push thing all the way through, and it just constructs it, which I actually really like. Man, you got someone on your doorstep and you need to quickly put up a defensive structure. Okay, rush the labor costs on that. Get that defensive structure up. I think it's going to make playing the Chaos Dwarfs really clutch in a lot of really bad situations where you're about to get, pushed into something. So I really do like that. And you can also upgrade and change. But by the way, it's worth noting your provincial capital takes raw materials to do so. But you can swap these to outposts and factories, which I think is really cool too. So just like you could say with the Chaos Dwarfs. No, Warriors of Chaos. So just a little teaser here. We can see all these cool buildings, the military. So we have all of the engines. Ooh, look at that. Hellfire cannon right there. 3 different variants of one thing is what it looks like up here. This might be the Dreadquake mortar is what it kind of looks like. The Kadai building is part of the caster building. I think these are probably the casters. Kadai Fireborn, and then Kadai Destroyer. We have the Baal Taurus, the Lamassu. I think these are centaurs. There's the Great. So there's the Great Taurus. There's the Bull Centaur Chieftain. These are 3 other Bull Centaur variants is what it looks like. Probably a Render we know is one of them. Great Weapons is another. I don't know what third one of them is. But we definitely have the Baal Taurus right there too. Yeah, Baal Taurus. Oh, Renders with Great Weapons. Centaur Renders. Bull Centaur Taruk. Sorry, I thought it was Chieftain. Oh, what was that? What were you, little... okay, Great Weapons. I missed the first one. Did you go over the first one? Yeah, well. You see all that was. Now, here's the tech tree works, which is actually kind of fun and interesting too. It's broken up into 3 separate tech trees. This can go ahead and resume. And each one of these tech trees is military, sorcery, or industry. And they will have different benefits. Aha, there it was. So there is the UI contextual thing I was talking about. So watch when he hovers over this thing, the tooltip will pop up, and watch the bottom of the tooltip. That, I mean, I don't know for certain, but that is the same effect that I get in a ton of other 4X games that show me that the tooltip is now locked in place and I can hover over it. So, and he doesn't do that, so I can't confirm it. What does Stronghold Syndrome do here? The following units will receive bonuses from this. Oh, that's pretty sick. So rather than going, okay, melee attack for laborers and hobgoblin infantry units, and thinking to yourself, what counts as a laborer and a hobgoblin infantry unit? I hope more things have this and not just the Chaos Dwarfs. So like an example here would be if I'm playing Kislev and I get 10% charge bonus to cavalry, does that include Bear Cav? So I'm stoked to see that says specifically laborers and hobgoblin infantry units get that bonus right there. So very nice to see. So, which reminds me, boom. Okay, so we're upgrading Astaroth here. Aha, which is cool. Like, I love this. I didn't see this when I first looked at the video. So you can now see exactly what is benefiting from anything. So I would assume this is a 3.0 change across the board. 2, we can take a look. Cascading Fire Cloak, Kindle Flame, Killing Fire, which I assume is the lore attribute for lore of Hashut. Burning Wrath. Damn, he's got a lot of cool shit. Bustle Body, Piercing Intellect, Ruthless Display. I mean, these things are kind of par for the course. And then there we go. Here's his top line. So Master of the Conclave, giving him diplomatic relations with Chaos Dwarfs, Ogre Kingdoms, Warriors of Chaos, Demons of Chaos, Beastmen, and Norska, and then allied recruitment cost minus 10%. So we have also, oh my God. Sorry if you suffer from seizures because of things that are flashing on the screen. That is all my bad. So you got this little dude here. And you got the Bull Centaur Tarek here. Now, I want to quickly look at his stat line. We got 60 armor, 70 speed, 38 attacks, 36 melee defense, the 440 bonus versus large AP. He's got, so yeah, we still don't know what Contempt does, unfortunately. We'll probably find on a blog. Do I see his skills? They renamed to Natally because that's a funny joke, I guess. Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits. More Hobgoblin units, which is cool. The Chaos Dwarf Warriors. We've seen these guys as the Great Weapon dudes. Orc Laborers. Who is these? Who are you? Sneaky Git. Okay, he just skipped right over him. Then we got Hobgoblin Archers, as I can see right there. I would imagine this is some sort of Hobgoblin of some sort. So, Great Weapons, Goblin Wolf Riders. These are enemy Goblin Wolf Riders because we know we have ones that are going to be. But here's the Sneaky Gits. So melee attack 28, poison damage 30 bonus versus infantry, and they also have. They're basically gutter runners. 35 speed on these dudes. Fire wheels to moving too, and stock. I mean, that's pretty nice. I don't know what this little thing here is. Precursor missile weapon, you know, we know what that is. Ammunition 2. Well, no, I'm sorry. This is not a gun runner. Now that I see Ammunition 2 and Precursor. So they'll launch their poison missiles first, which is kind of cool. Get a little poison going there. Get forward a little bit here. Like I said, if you do want to watch all this stuff in its entirety and you don't want to kind of skip through and listen to me talk about it, well, it is on YouTube, Total Wars YouTube. We've seen the renders. We've seen the Orc Laborers, which are great axe infantry. I guess we didn't see these guys. No, we did. We did. Yeah, because I remember talking about the AP damage on them. Goblin Archers, Astrogath, Goblins. Remember when I thought that the Goblins were a different unit within the army, and I'm an idiot. See all the Goblins he gets. Orc Boys. Okay. So we have our little bit of action here with a completed province. This is going to give us control and then chance of plague spreading minus 25%. I don't think he goes to the I remember him not going to the other ones. I'm kind of skipping forward here a little bit more. A lot of this is just kind of narrative, like basically Astrogoth kind of plummeting his way through the Darklands and kind of reclaiming his empire, which is cool. Oh, dude, look at this ability. Like, this is such a cool spell, man. Pop off. Oh, slow-mo. Put in the hoop like slam. Get ready for a space jam. Oh, I love it. I fucking love that. Can't wait to use it on turn. You hear that turn? I'm using it on you. Co-op campaign. You, me, dance, rap, battle. That's right, both. So, fervent fodder. Progressing up now. Melee defense and leadership, and next level leadership and melee defense for laborers, hobgoblins, hobgoblin wolf raiders, and the melee units. Interesting. Did I forget something? It like hovered over that like it was, you get a special... Okay, I thought it was saying like you get a special labor costing here. I'm like, what? The siege towers are sick though, man. Like, look at that siege tower. Just a smokestack of destruction. And by the way, if you're going to showcase your campaign, do not use a potato creative assembly. Come on. You can get like 15 more FPS by turning off those green and... Oh, again, just dunks on these Skaven, man. Like I said, dudes, put in the hoop like slam. LeBron couldn't have made a better Space Jam than Astaroth is. Like Astaroth is. Put him in for Space Jam 3. But yeah, shut out those green borders. Come on, man. Oh. That's crucial. They get the underway, which I mean, I would have assumed. It's kind of weird too. The Chaos Dwarfs sound too much like dwarfs. I guess I had thought in my brain they sound differently. I don't know. Maybe I thought they had an accent. I don't know why, but to me, when he spoke, I was like, wow, he just kind of sounds like a normal dwarf. I don't quite like this. This just does not agree with me. The impulsive trait, speed bonus and charge bonus. This is a sorcerer prophet. We can see that's the symbol for the lore of Hashut as well. Now we have this Tower of Zar to talk about. So, did I already skip over the conclave? The convoy? Yeah, there's a convoy system, which is basically a Chaos Dwarf version of Cathay's convoy system. So, you have 3 districts: sorcery, military, and industry. Raw material, armament output increased, immediately causes wall breaches when besieging for military, and research rate increase. So you basically need to increase your conclave stat right here to claim one of these seats. Like for example here, this has already been claimed by the NPC faction, the Legion of Asgore, and this is going to give raw materials plus 100 per turn and raw materials output plus 5%. And it's cool because you need 2 of the previous tier to progress to the next tier, then so on and so forth, up to the 4th tier, where you then force confederations. So we'll go ahead and let him kind of go through this here. So the 3 districts. So right now, as we jump into... No, go to tier 2, baby. Here's tier 2. Chaos Undivided Corruption plus 2. Global recruitment capacity. Maximum number of active convoys. Tier 3, Winds of Magic, minus 10% for all spells, global recruitment duration minus 1, and control plus 3. In the Conclave, so this says, so that last one, the other one was the, let's just go right here. There we go. So we got the Legion of Asgore, the War Host of Zar, go to it, and the Servants of the Conclave, which is the NPC faction that controls Nar Zagron. So you command the might of Zar Nagrand. So very interesting mechanic, and I actually really like it. I think it's really cool. I want to see how it works in person and in practice. It seems like a very fun kind of, there's a lot of inner turmoil, and it's why the Chaos Dwarfs are the way they are. It's why the Legion of Asgore is banished to the Black Fortress, because of the turmoil and the politicking of the Chaos Dwarfs. So it's kind of like a better Kislev system, and I really, really like it. So claiming the seat, he claims it for X amount of turns, gives him some cool fun bonuses and abilities. So you have to claim 2 seats though before you can move to the next tier, which I do like quite a bit. So, here's our convoys, and again, it's just pretty much exactly the same, right? It didn't go into much on it. He just showed it off. That was it. He didn't show like, okay, it includes these units. It looks like this is an overseer, and the other character is an overseer, which is the base combat unit. We can see that it costs money. He said like, oh, I don't have nearly enough money for this. And then it shows the campaign map. I'm like, yo, you're sitting on 7,700. I don't think the 750 is going to really dent you. So you can, interesting little ditty there. Pushing forward, the next level of the ramparts, just to kind of show that off so you can see that. And moving forward, he gets the next one, doesn't he? Oh no, he just gets the first one. Sorcerer. Ooh, does he show superior? Come on. Yeah, superior melee attack and melee defense. Look at him, just gaming the system here. Orc laborers. There we go. We'll watch that little vignette. So, by and large, I think that the Chaos Dwarfs have a lot of really fun and very complex. This is actually pretty sick. Pretty complex mechanics that I think aren't overbearing, but I think they're going to be difficult. I think a lot of people are going to struggle with this campaign out the gate because they're going to need to learn the pacing of things. So I'm very curious to see how that kind of makes its way into the game and how complex it actually is, because it looks a little bit more difficult. Didn't fix that corruption squaring, I see. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that all kind of shakes itself out. But we can see the labor economy here. You can, just like the slave mechanics, you can push the laborers to one location, help out with the workload, have these different actions going on, stuff like that. So something that we've already seen, but it seems to be a better and more fleshed out mechanic than the slave mechanic. I'm just doing a ton of stuff over here, just some general talking about orcs and the Great Taurus. Yes. So there is, you son of a bitch. Unnecessary dramatic zoom right here. There we go. So Great Taurus here is AP, causing terror, flaming attacks, 46 melee attack, 28 melee defense. That's pretty damn low. 450 weapon strength on this guy with 50 armor and 80 swoop and dupe and charge bonus. Whatever this symbol is, we don't know what that is. Obviously missile resistance and fire resistance, causing terror, flying, and siege attacker there. So pretty nice all the way around. Any other units we get to kind of... No? Barunden Magmas. What a name. Dude, look at him just pound town things, man. Okay, so province is secured. I believe a lot of... so this talks about the Black Hammer of Hashut here. This is going to give him control and weapon strength, a flat bonus. And then he's also going to have the hammer itself, which is going to have an imbuement of flammable, base weapon damage 50%, and 50% AP damage for 32 seconds. Quite nice on that. Does he already do flaming attack, though? Because if he does, that'd be sick. How dare he call them flying cows? So we see the trains of doom, and unfortunately we don't get the unit cards of the flames of doom. We just trains of doom. Someone said the Thomas the tank engine of pain, and I love that. Like, I love this Beltaris ability. This might be that icon that we obviously can't hover over because it's a fucking video. But wait for this guys to drop down. It's pretty sick here. Like, he then does an AoE blast. That is really disruptive. That is so strong. Again, it's so easy to look at these things in like a microscope and go, oh, that's amazing. That's a very strong ability. Then you actually play it in the game, like, that's maybe a little more overhyped. But I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying I can't wait to see what it's like. Like, that dive bomb, that's so sick. That is so sick. I love that they have, like, bandages around their heads and eyes and such. Like it's a really cool aesthetic for the orc laborers. Yeah, man, you get rid of those green borders, you can add like 10 FPS on that bad boy. It's like putting a vinyl sticker on the back of a sports car. You get like an easy 3 more horsepower of that bad boy. That's a joke. Like boosting VCRs and moving Fast and Furious. I don't think we see anything cool or fancy here. Yeah, it's just a lot of. I mean, we were the Burning Wrath. They didn't do any unit cards in this fight, which kind of razzed my box. And the tank, I'm sorry, yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine of Pain. I don't see the unit card down here. I don't see anything that shows them controlling it and using it. So I was like, damn, I wanted to kind of look at that a little bit more, unfortunately. But, oh, what? Oh, okay, that's not what this is. I was like, what is going on? It is an idol. Chaos Dwarfs looking great, though. Stovetop hats looking lovely. This doesn't ruin the quest battle, right? Like, I want to experience the quest battle in its entirety. Did I just spoil it for myself? God damn it. You probably expected this to be a very serious information dump video. Nah, man, it's like 1:45 to I'm just blazing through it. Dude, there it is again. Put it into the hoop, baby. Take this, Bugs Bunny. Lola Bunny, you gave me weird character or weird animation boners when I was when I was 12. Yeah, man, I did not expect Astaroth to be anything like he is in this video and in the game. I didn't expect him to kind of be this fast-moving, tanky character. And I think it's really cool to kind of see that coming here with the Chaos Dwarfs. I think it's going to be a lot of fun in the coming weeks and months and whatnot, of course. Months, it's coming out on the 13th of April. But in the coming days and weeks, we hope we're going to get more information here from Creative Assembly, more dives into some of the other campaign mechanics of the other lords, and what all this kind of means kind of put together. So very excited to see it. We didn't see the Infernal Guard yet. The Black Iron Immortals, I think they're called. The guys with the cool masks on. We haven't seen the llama suit. We have not obviously seen Drezzo with the Ashen or Zatar the Black, where they actually start. My implications of where they start is more just kind of what I've seen in the video really quick. Dude, like that is a terrible. Imagine waking up with that guy over your face. Like a fanged dwarf? No thanks. In like a super Space Marine paraplegic armor, not down, no sir. But really excited for this, really stoked on the DLC, guys. So stay tuned for more action. Make sure you tune into Twitch tomorrow when I go live and give away 2 copies of the DLC. I will not be restreaming it to YouTube because I cannot, because I'm now a Twitch partner. So go do check out my Twitch in the link below. And also make sure if you're going to purchase the DLC, you use my affiliate link. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.